Andrea Bocelli is not merely a singer. He is a living testament to human resilience. From the sunlit hills of Tuscany to the grandest stages across the world, his voice carries love, pain, and hope, resonating deeply within millions. Blind from childhood, Bocelli transformed silence into sound, shaping music into a lifeline that bridges isolation and connection. Life challenged him relentlessly, from accidents that stole his sight to the weight of poverty and personal loss, but each trial became a step toward mastery. His journey is proof that adversity can forge strength, and that the human spirit can endure far beyond imagined limits. Early life in Tuscany. Born on September the 22nd, 1958, in the small village of Lajarico near Pisa, Andrea entered the world under fragile circumstances. His mother suffered a violent attack of appendicitis during pregnancy, leaving doctors doubtful of both lives. His father, Alessandro, tended vines and farm machinery, while his mother, Eddie, devoted herself to their home. Alongside his older brother, Alberto, Andrea grew in a household of steady work rather than luxury. Early on, life demanded endurance rather than indulgence. Even in his earliest moments, he was tested, and survival became a quiet lesson. It does not announce itself. It simply continues, shaping character silently but profoundly. The onset of blindness. Andrea's vision began fading almost immediately after birth due to congenital glaucoma. The world appeared in blurred shapes and fleeting halos, teaching him to navigate life not by sight but through vibration and sound. Wind, water, metal, and human voices became his guideposts. In 1970, at age 12, a soccer ball struck his eyes, triggering a brain hemorrhage that erased the last remnants of light. Darkness did not arrive slowly. It enveloped him fully. In the sterile confines of a hospital, a single recording of Franco Corelli introduced him to a world where the human voice could carry immense weight, offering direction when despair threatened to dominate. Discovery. Through music became Andrea's guide, teacher, and companion. Encouraged by his parents, who refused to allow pity to narrow his life, he learned piano, guitar, flute, saxophone, trumpet, and drums. Each instrument became a tool for navigating the world of silence. Early performances and local competitions revealed a voice that felt decades older than his years, shaped by hardship and observation. Though applause came and faded, it was the discipline, not recognition, that mattered. Music was no longer a hobby, it was survival, structure, and self-expression. Through sound, Andrea shaped a life that sight could never have fully defined, turning limitations into opportunity. Boarding school challenges. As a teenager, Andrea attended a boarding school for the blind, far from home. The deepest challenge was not darkness, but distance and isolation. The dormitory housed 64 boys, yet nights stretched endlessly. Music became both refuge and structure, the one light he could hold. Lying awake, he listened to the building breathe, the absence of home pressing on him until sleep arrived reluctantly. In these hours, Andrea learned endurance without applause, developing patience, independence, and the ability to persevere unseen. Each note, each practice session, became a building block for resilience, a foundation that would later support a voice heard around the world. Early career and recognition. Returning to Tuscany, Andrea approached his craft with quiet determination. Blindness did not define him, it honed his focus. Practicing scales, exploring every nuance of sound, and mastering his instruments became routine. By adulthood, his talent was undeniable. Early performances hinted at what the world would later embrace, a voice capable of stirring cathedrals and stadiums alike. But recognition was not immediate. Each note, each song was an act of discipline, perseverance, and personal triumph. Andrea's life had taught him that beauty often requires patience, and that endurance, rather than applause, carries its own reward. Family and love stability arrived through love, particularly in his marriage to Veronica in 2014. Their partnership was built not on spectacle, but on mutual support and quiet alignment. Veronica's presence grounded Andrea, transforming recognition into responsibility through the Andrea Bocelli Foundation. Together, they navigated life with patience, devotion, and balance. Their daughter, Virginia, born in 2012, added a new dimension of renewal. Bridging past hardship with present joy, family became a sanctuary, a place where music intersected with love and the pressures of fame could not intrude. In this environment, Andrea found orientation, steadiness, and a shelter from the storms of public life. Children and legacy. Andrea's children continue his story, each in their own way. His eldest son, Amos, born in 1995, pursued aerospace engineering, valuing precision and quiet rigor over public recognition. Music remained a shared connection, a private language between father and son. Matteo, born in 1997, inherited both warmth and passion, stepping confidently onto international stages while honoring his father's legacy. Virginia's selective engagement with music emphasizes sincerity and choice. Through them, Andrea's values of patience, discipline, and balance persist. His voice becomes more than performance. It is inheritance, passing forward lessons of endurance, creativity, and human connection across generations. Resilience in adversity. Even in adulthood, Andrea faced trials beyond personal loss. The pandemic era presented public scrutiny and compressed nuance into judgment. He met this with reflection rather than resentment, acknowledging vulnerability as a mark of humanity. At 67, he maintains health through disciplined routines: walking, swimming, vocal exercises, breathwork, and balanced nutrition. Music is ritual, not perfection. Physical and mental well-being are practices repeated daily, sustaining a voice that has carried him through life. Andrea demonstrates that resilience is cultivated, not inherited, and that discipline and self-care are as vital as talent in enduring adversity. Philanthropy and responsibility. Andrea Bocelli's impact extends beyond music. Through the Andrea Bocelli Foundation, he channels recognition into education, healthcare, and disaster relief, especially in underserved areas. Since its founding, the organization has directed over $15 million toward long-term community transformation in Haiti, East Africa, and rural Italy. Andrea's work exemplifies that artistry carries responsibility. Performances are not just spectacles, but instruments of service. He embodies a philosophy in which success amplifies compassion, proving that enduring influence lies not only in applause, but in quiet, sustained contributions to humanity. Continuing musical journey. Even after decades of acclaim, Andrea remains dedicated to evolution. Between 2024 and 2025, he performed in numerous benefit concerts and prepares for a European tour in 2026, exploring new venues and returning to musical roots. A forthcoming documentary and album continue this exploration, blending classical foundation with contemporary expression. These projects are not nostalgia, but maturation, reflecting a career rooted in discipline, reflection, and enduring curiosity. Each performance continues a narrative shaped by adversity, love, and purpose, showing that artistry is not static, but a living, evolving expression of the human spirit. Conclusion. Enduring spirit. Andrea Bocelli's life is a testament to resilience, discipline, and empathy. Blindness, poverty, personal loss, and public scrutiny could have fractured a lesser spirit, yet he met each challenge with quiet strength. Music became survival, love became shelter, and family became continuity. His story teaches that human limits can be stretched through perseverance, that adversity can cultivate wisdom, and that purpose gives meaning beyond recognition. Andrea's voice rises not merely to perform, but to connect, heal, and inspire. In darkness or light, his journey reminds us the human spirit can endure, transcend, and sing with unwavering clarity.